New Orleans is a vibrant place with a culture of its own. But long before it became the Big Easy, the Mississippi River had to build the ground on which the city stands. By flooding its banks every spring for thousands of years, the mighty river forged a vast delta at the Gulf of Mexico. The process continued until the 20th century, when a great flood prompted the federal government to rebuild and strengthen the river's levees, and canals were dredged through the coastal marshes for navigation and oil and gas production. In August of 2005, Hurricane Katrina threw a storm surge over southeast Louisiana that easily penetrated the eroding wetlands and caused other parts of the levee system to fail. The world saw the vulnerability of the region through the catastrophe. As volunteers poured in to help rebuild the city, Common Ground Relief quickly emerged as a leading institution to organize their efforts. They worked hard to repair what had been damaged and changed the lives of many New Orleans residents. Still, the ongoing wetlands crisis was making the city more vulnerable. Something had to be done.
After Katrina, when I came down here and decided I wanted to do this, I went around to the volunteer organizations that were working on rebuilding. I told them what they all agreed, and that is that you can rebuild all the houses you want in New Orleans, but it's all for naught if we don't fix the coast.
So Common Ground partnered with Bayou Rebirth Wetlands Education and Restoration to get volunteers planting the wetlands and learning why they're important for protecting the region, the national economy, and habitat for wildlife.
We've had about 30,000 volunteers from around the world that have come here to New Orleans to help us in our relief and rebuilding effort. And it's been very important as part of their stay with us that we have these wetland experiences, the opportunity to come out and see for themselves what's going on here and what needs to be done, and how quickly this area can come back once it's been properly maintained, and going ahead and planting correct plant material in these specific areas.
The biggest thing that we learned is how much devastation has already happened before we got here. We know that Katrina 5 years ago destroyed a lot of the coastal wetlands. What we didn't know is that that's been happening for almost a century now, and that what the group down here, Bayou Rebirth and Common Grounds, what they've been doing is really trying to outdo or undo all of that that's been happening.
Volunteers are planting grasses and trees, reducing erosion, and building land. And they have lots of fun doing it.
Well, one of the staffers, he says that the first goal is to have fun, and the second goal is to help the environment. And so, when we're out there, you are doing work, but at the same time, you're kind of playing in the water, or just really chatting with people, making conversation.
We make sure too that that from start to finish, there's a specific project that they're working on. They can see the end results during their brief 7 to 14 day stay with us, and that's the most important thing. That I think that when they go back, they think that they've accomplished something, which they have.
We have this great opportunity where people can come and play and experience New Orleans, but they can also help in many ways, and with the opportunities that we're providing, they can also come out and connect with this incredibly beautiful and fragile and disappearing ecosystem that is such an important part of our experience as an Americans.